Hi everyone, Spiderman and his good buddy Kate here, bringing you another episode of Self-Defense for Kids. How are you feeling, man? It's good to see you. Thanks for coming in. So today we're going to deal with the very common side headlock. This is the motion where somebody comes up next to you and they crank on your neck like that. But you know what? As uncomfortable and as scary and as dangerous as that is, there's something else that usually goes along with it. And if somebody grabs you in this motion here, not only is it going to be painful, but they might start throwing these punches into the face, which is just going to amplify everything in this situation. So we're going to address not only how to get out of this side headlock, but how to deal with the punches as they're coming in. And Miss Kate's going to demonstrate for us. I'm going to show the basic motion. She grabs me, side headlock. Okay, so what we're going to deal with here is a lot of pain as the head is being cranked in, right? We know that the punches are probably on their way. And that's going to be the threat that we have to deal with immediately. So I'm going to tuck my chin so that when she punches, if I get hit on the top of the head. Now, not pleasant, but better than the face, as the face is the most sensitive area, and you can imagine getting punched there over and over again. Now, a lot of times, we don't always have the right vision of how fast these punches are going to come. Once you're grabbed, it's like, boom, 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 boom. How many was that? Did I just throw 8 in a couple of seconds? I mean, it's like that. It's a flurry, a furious flurry. So, as she grabs me, and I get cranked in, I tuck my chin, and I try to make sure that my head is what takes any shots. Then I get my hands up right away. Now she starts throwing punches towards me, and I'm just using this hand here to try to get control of these arms. Trying to block if I can, and if possible, I'm gonna get her elbow and turn this way. My hand that's behind her back gets her elbow, pins it close to her body. My hand that's in front gets her wrist, and again, hold it close. Now, she might still be cranking on my neck, but at least I'm not getting punched anymore. From this position, I'm gonna get as close in as I can, release the hand from her elbow, raise it like I'm asking a question, find her face, and for training, we go to the chin. I push in on her leg to give me some leverage as I stand. And remember our rule, eyes lead the body. If I point up and get her eyes to go up, her body straightens up, and now I can rise. From that position there, we have a few different ways in which we're going to examine our exits, but we're going to start with that. So ma'am, as we come into this motion here, she tucks her chin in towards me so that when she's getting punched, the top of her head is what takes the shots, and her hands come up right away. I'm talking immediate. And she's going to try to block here, and she's going to try to grab back here as we're moving, and the second she's able to get a hold of it, she pins it close. Again, I still might be cranking, but at least she's not getting punched. Now she's going to keep the hand that's on my wrist where it is. And then her hand that's on my elbow comes up under my chin. Eyes lead the body. Now, I said we train on the chin for practice. Anywhere on the face that you can grab. Grab their nose and pull them up. Put a finger in their eye. A hand rakes across the face where you're trying to find the chin, causes them to get their eye poked and they're turning away out of discomfort. Great. But again, for training, you don't want to be poking your partners in the eyes, right? So right under the chin, being mindful not to grab into the throat, and then gently lift and work with each other with reasonable resistance. So again, I grab her, I'm cranking, we're gonna start punching, her hands are coming in to stop. The second she can get a hold of me, she does, reaches up, and she lifts my eyes to lift my body. Now, from this position here, it is possible to just keep going with your hand. And if eyes lead the body and she keeps pushing me back, my body's gonna start to bend and I might just fall, which would be great. Put them right on the ground. Okay, so we'll show that variation first. Miss Kate, we're gonna have you stand right here. So imagine it's like this. I'm gonna bully Kate and I run up behind her and it's a sneak attack. And I jump in the air and I grab her and I crank in and I'm ready to go to town. And she's gotta get right in on this. And this here you have to train, right? Make it an instinct. She gets control of the arm the second she can, and then she reaches up. Now just go right through it. Keep pushing, keep pushing, keep pushing. Takes me right over, facing that way. So again, we're going slow, so again, you can learn it, but also so I don't hurt my friend, okay? So I jump up and I grab her and I start cranking and I'm like, okay, here comes the shots, and she's already blocking. So I'm in there, I'm trying to get her, and she gets control of my arm, reaches up, gets up, eyes lead the body, and just keeps going over. Okay, so now that would be considered ideal, but there's a couple of variables that we have to take into account. Number one, if somebody has a lot of weight all right? You're a smaller kid. You're strong, you're fast, right? But you're a smaller kid in comparison. It might be too difficult for you to have them get tripped over your leg because you're doing this eyes lead the body motion, but they're going to be stumbling upon your leg as you guide them up and over to the ground. And we don't want to fall down to the ground. So if you feel that they're too heavy and you would be better served by using your nimbleness and agility that goes with your smaller size and stature, then this is what we'll do instead. Now, Miss Kate will have you face that way again. As I jump up to grab her, and again, she tucks her chin and starts blocking, gets control right away, reaches up, and then stop right here. What she can do is duck down and out and shove me. Whoa! And now she's clear. She runs away to report to a teacher, a parent, a neighbor, what's going on, and get some help. Let's take a look at it from this side. I jump up, I grab her. Now watch her hand as it's coming here to control my arm. See that? One more time. I'm winding up to hit her. She's blocking on the front, but she's also trying to get a hold of it back here to pin it to me. It's just like giving me a hug. I know you don't want to hug a bully, but you got to make sure you keep that arm tight. She gets a hold of the front, and now I can't punch her anymore, so now I'm trying to get my arm free, and I'm still cranking on her neck, but I got multiple things to think about. Now when she's ready, she reaches up to ask the question. Now, right here, if we freeze for just a moment, you stay right where you are. Just be frozen person. Dun, 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 dun. This is the leg that if she continues to push, I would trip on. But again, I might have a lot of weight, and we might both go down to the ground, okay? So instead, what she's going to do is simply duck and step back out. Go ahead. Gives me a shove and gets herself clear. Steps in, pulls her down, she gets control of my arm, and she asks the question. The question is, can you get off of me? She ducks out quick and shoves. Very nice, man. Now it should be practiced on both the left and the right sides. And it should be done over and over again because what you have to understand is that it takes about 100 repetitions to keep something memorized, but over 1,000 repetitions to absorb it and make it an instinct. If this is a concern that you have, then great, we're giving you some tools that you can work with. But you're the one who's got to practice it, so make sure that when mom and dad set up some practice time for you, you take it serious. It doesn't have to be excessively long. 15 minutes on just one defensive tactic, but make sure that you really apply your focus. Greatest tool you'll ever have in your arsenal is your focus. Now, there's one other piece, and this is again for those serious situations. If you just cannot get yourself out as you're doing your headlock escape and the chin lift, and it's not going to be possible for you to take the person back over your leg, nor do you feel that you can duck out. We're going to use a softening blow. And there's two very sensitive areas we can go to. One's the groin, and we can just do a palm heel slap. The other's the neck. And if you remember when we've used Bob, our body opponent bag, during our smart targeting lessons, you can use your arc hand and strike right there. So again, we move in and I grab her, and she gets a control hold on my arm, reaches up, does her eyes lead the body, and I'm just fighting her. It's just too much. She's going to take this hand that's on the wrist, and she's got to slap low. Boom! And she might have to do it multiple times, but she makes that stun effect, okay? Then she can duck out and push. Go ahead. Oh, very good. The other one, right here. Now, it's not a choke, if you remember. It's just a strike, a slap to the throat. She gets control over my arm. She reaches up. I'm here, and I'm weighing on her. She's going to take this wrist here. You can just strike in sharp. Hit me right on the chest. Yeah, do it fast. Right? Now she ducks out and makes the shove to take me down. Now there's one other thing that I just want to address really quick, and that's that a lot of kids, especially young boys, will play in roughhouse and wrestle around like this, and a headlock is a very common thing to have happen. You watch wrestling, you have an older brother, older friend, they take wrestling, they're like, hey man, this is a cool move, let me show you what it is. It's really not the best stuff to play with. And I know that I've given this tip before, and it's because the neck is so sensitive and the throat is so sensitive, and you're doing things that can easily hurt someone even if you're playing. Remember, it's not just that our intent is to play around, it's that the result of that could be severe. Spider-Man's recommendation is that when it comes to roughhousing and playing around in this manner, let's just avoid the head and neck altogether. No chokes, no headlocks, no strangles. None of that, okay? Keep your friends safe and they'll stay as your friends. And when we have ourselves a more severe situation like a bully and they're grabbing and cranking on us, well, now you have a reason to use some of these tactics that might seem a little bit more severe because they intend to do you harm. They're not playing around. And if you have to do a smart targeting strike to get yourself free and prevent yourself from being choked or maybe severely damaged, then that's what you have to do. Just remember, it's all about trying to avoid that danger first and foremost. So be aware and be alert, and that will serve you well. Miss Kate, I want to thank you so much for helping us today, and we'll see you in the next lesson.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you like our videos, please subscribe to our channel. You can also like our gym on Facebook at Pecораro's Fitness and Kickboxing. Visit our gym online at rpdojo.com, and for our instructional DVDs, visit adamlanddvd.com. You can also check out these other Spider-Man videos.